Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Dylan Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. In today's video, as you can see by the title and thumbnail, I'm going to be talking about Chris Paul signing to go to the San Antonio Spurs. He's going to be playing alongside Victor Wembanyama. We've been talking about this for the past couple weeks from every single person that is an NBA fan about who's going to go to the Spurs. People are going to want to play with Victor Wembanyama, and we have our first candidate right now. The point guard, Chris Paul, is going to play with the Spurs. Now, some people are questioning, like, why would he do that? He should have went back to the Warriors. He could have had a free championship there. Well, he was there last year. Look how that went. He barely played, and they didn't win a championship. With the Spurs, he is at least going to be able to play. He can now help out Victor Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama, we've been saying he needs a point guard. He needs somebody that can be a smart mind and distribute the ball, get everybody in the right places. Chris Paul is that kind of guy. Is Chris Paul going to go out there and put up 25, 30 points a game? Fuck no, he ain't that kind of guy anymore, but he can still judge and kind of dictate where people need to be on the floor, make sure everybody's doing what they need to do. He's going to get you probably like 10 points. He'll do what he needs to do. And now he's got a coach in Greg Popovich that can help Victor Wembanyama and help Chris Paul be like a duo on the court. The Spurs are starting to build. They're getting some nice players in there. And now, like I said, with Chris Paul there, I'm going to kind of explain my reasoning as to why this team, believe it or not, might be a hot take, is going to be in the playoffs next year. It might be a hot take, it might be a cold take, but like I said, they're going to be in the playoffs next year, and I'm going to explain why. So without further ado, I'm going to get straight into this. So if you're going to enjoy it, as always, make sure you're going to drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. But without further ado, let's get into it. Now, as you can see here from this article here, like I said, I'll have a link to it down in the description below if you want to go check it out for yourself. It says here Chris Paul is actually expected to start for the Spurs. So if anybody's wondering about, like, oh, he's going to go to the Spurs, cool, but is he going to just probably like ride the bench? From what they're saying, he's going to start. Like I said in the intro, the Spurs have been needing somebody. They need a guy. There's been reports about maybe could they go after Darius Garland, the Cavaliers. I've been paying attention to it a lot because I'm a Cavs fan. But from what we've seen is that they're kind of out on that. The Cavs are going to hang on to Garland. So they said, okay, we need to get a point guard. Chris Paul, come along. Some of you don't realize this, but everywhere Chris Paul has gone, he's been a leader and he's been like the dude on the team. He's been the dude and he's been like a mentor. As you can see here from the paragraph here, he was a mentor for almost everywhere he's been, and now he could possibly mentor Wemby. When he was with the Clippers, he was the leader. He was able to mentor some of these guys alongside Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan. When he went to Houston and became the teammate with James Harden, they were good. They were on fire. They were getting to the conference semifinals. They were right there about to be in the finals that one year, and then they choked it. When he left and Russell Westbrook became the teammate of James Harden, they were nothing like what they were with Chris Paul. And the biggest one, whenever he was with the Thunder, they were a good team. I think they made the playoffs this year, correct me in the comments, but he was like almost like a mentor to what that Thunder team could be, and they got some good players going in there, and now it's like almost like his touch on the organization, I feel like, is why they are so good nowadays. Now, when it comes to the contract, it's a 1 year, $11 million, nothing crazy. He's getting basically, I guess you could say veteran minimum, but at the same time, he's getting a decent payday. Victor Wembanyama was playing amazing basketball last year. Now, imagine if he can get better. He's already got a great coach in Popovich out there. Now, imagine a veteran point guard in Chris Paul that, like I said, he's not going to play like he used to, but he's going to still be able to go out there and teach Wemby, teach him the ways of the game, make him understand, hey, I see this little thing you're doing here. Let's change it. Let's tweak it just a little bit, and you will be able to obliterate defenses. Now, when you look at the San Antonio Spurs, last year they went 22-16, not the greatest thing in the world. Looking at the standings, obviously they weren't going to make the playoffs. We knew with them drafting Wembanyama, they was going to be like a rebuilding year, just kind of feel it out, see what they can do this kind of year. They got solid pieces, I will say that. They got solid pieces, and they got some building stones. When you look at what the teams got going for them for the upcoming season, they got a lot of solid pieces. They got Keldon Johnson. They got Zach Collins. Like I said with Wemby, he's still going to be on his rookie deal for a little bit. Trey Jones is still there. They got some solid pieces. Malachi Brandon, he needs to get some playing time. That dude is a beast, and he needs to get more playing time. Like, I'm not even kidding. I don't care how, if he's playing 48 minutes, somehow give that man 49 minutes. Now, something I like to look at whenever it comes to teams and like, oh, this team was horrible. They lost so many games. They must have been the worst team in the league. A lot of times I like to look at it as, how many games did they lose that were actually winnable? And when I say winnable, I mean 10 points or less, meaning within the last few minutes, or I would say at least like 8 points or less, because sometimes with 10 points, you might have been trailing by like 20 and the other team, there was like a minute left and they just start racking up shots. I'd say 8 to 10 points to where it was like, this game, it was very doable. I'm going to kind of skim through these, but like Dallas was doable. You look through here, overtime game was doable. Minnesota was doable. Miami was doable. Sacramento was doable. Like, you had games in here that it's like, you were right there. You had your chance. You go to Portland here. That was very winnable. Memphis was winnable. Milwaukee was winnable. Cleveland was winnable. Like, I'll keep on scrolling here so you can see it. But, like, you had some very winnable games. You had a lot of overtime games in here that it's like, right here, Philadelphia, overtime, double overtime. If you capitalize on these games, you had a realistic shot of maybe instead of being like 20 games back of being even in the play-in, maybe 10 games back. Now, kind of wrapping up, like I said, Chris Paul is a great teacher. He's a great mentor to this team. He's going to be able to come in and just smack some sense into these Spurs players and say, hey, you guys have possibly, arguably, might be a hot take, arguably, the greatest fucking player we're going to see in this lifetime, Victor Wembanyama, the fucking freak of nature, playing on your team. You need to make this worth your while and help this man win. Because there's a lot of young players, a lot of young possible stars on this Spurs team that if they just do their jobs, do what they need to do, and they can each go out there and give you about 10, 12 points, this team could very easily win a lot of games this year. And like I said, I'm not predicting this team to go win the finals, conference finals, even semifinals, or maybe not even playoffs, but play-in. Maybe. This team very well could be in the play-in tournament. Maybe they get into the playoffs out of the play-in tournament. Probably not going to win the first round, but they had a realistic shot of being in the play-in tournament. And the NBA wants Wembanyama in the playoffs because obviously, if you're in the playoffs, it sells more money and more tickets because like people are going to go to the playoff games to see Victor Wembanyama. Now, when it comes to Chris Paul possibly staying another year, that I don't know if it's going to happen. Now, when it comes to Chris Paul signing back another season, I don't know if that's going to happen. He might just be in it for like a one-year thing, see how it goes, have some fun, play with Wembanyama. Like we've been saying for the past couple weeks, everybody in the league probably wants to play with Wembanyama. It just depends on if they want to go to San Antonio. Chris Paul's taking the chance. He's going to go down there and play with Victor Wembanyama. He's going to play a year down there, see how it goes, and then maybe next year, who knows, could he retire? Could he stay? Could he sign back again? Maybe go somewhere else. But it's going to be kind of fun to see what happens. And like I said, playoffs, I can see it happening. I can see play-in happening. Playoffs, they got a real shot. They got a real goddamn shot to make playoffs. But other than that, I think I'm going to wrap up there. Hopefully you guys did go and enjoy today's video. If you did enjoy it, as always, make sure you go and drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. If you wanted to watch the entirety of today's video, thank you very much. And like I said, if you have a different opinion, do you agree or disagree with anything I said? Do you think Chris Paul is the right piece with the Spurs to maybe help out Wembanyama's development, maybe help out develop some of these young guys in the Spurs organization and help them understand, hey, we can win some playoff or we can get some games won and maybe make it to the playoffs with this team. What do you think about the whole Chris Paul, Popovich, Wembanyama type trio? Do you think it's going to work out? Do you think they're going to make the playoffs this season? Whatever your opinion may be, if you're a Spurs fan, leave your complete opinion down in the comment section down below. Be more than welcome to talk about with you guys. If you're a fan of the content that I do post here and you want to go and hit that big red subscribe button, feel free to do so. And don't forget to hit that little notification bell to be notified second to post. But without further ado, this has been Donald Talk Sports. Have a great day. Peace.